Number one, recognize the necessity for unity and group operation. Do you understand that if we can work together as a group in unity, we will be more successful, more powerful, more able to do the things that as individuals working by ourselves, we have never been able to do. Two, pool your resources physically as well as financially. Stop wanton criticism of everything that is black owned and operated. Four, keep in mind that jealousy destroys from within. Fifth, observe the operations of the white man. He is successful. He makes no excuses for his failures. He works hard in a collective manner. You do the same. Now, these are things that we must do. Let's go on. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad asked us to commit to save 5 cents a day. What? What? Yes, he said if we can save just 5 cents a day from our wages, 25 cents a week for 52 weeks in the year, that would mean we would put aside $13 a year that we could save in a national savings treasury. At that time that he wrote this, we numbered 22 million people and approximately 5 million were wage earners. Well, if 5 million wage earners save $13 a year, this would mean 65 million saved out of our wages in 1 year. At the rate of 25 cents per week, it would be painless. Now wait, we just getting started. Now look, today, brothers and sisters, don't you think we can do better than what we were asked to do 48 years ago? According to government statistics, there are a little over 16 million blacks employed at some level. Well, look what happens if we raise the economic bar and contribute the same nickel a day. But we do it 7 days a week with the working force of 16 million. Look at this. 7 days times 1 nickel a day, 35 cents a week. Do you have it? Yes, sir. Isn't that painless? Yes, sir. You know you don't like pain. No, sir. Look at this. 52 weeks in a year, so that amounts to $18.20 per year. And if everybody in this room, everybody listening by television, everybody under the sound of my voice gave $18.20 a year, multiply that by 16 million in the working force. Now we got $291,200,000 in just 1 year. 291 million. Look at the power of pennies, nickels, and dimes if all of us did this. Can you see the picture? Look, We want to do exactly as Isaiah the prophet said. They will rebuild the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated. They will renew the ruined cities that have been devastated for generations. Don't we live in cities? Are the places where we live ruined? Are there many abandoned buildings where we live? Do you own them? You walk by them. You smoke reefers and crack in them. If this resembles any persons living or dead, it's not a coincidence. Now look. That's just $291, nearly $300 million painless. Now I'm going to show you more that we can do with the help of God. I just want you to see the picture, because once you see the picture, it's done. Now watch this. Isaiah 58:12 says that they will be the restorer of streets to dwell in. Look at the streets where we dwell. See, if we started saving money, simple little pennies, we'll show you more of what we can do. And look at this. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, and to do this, we start with land. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote, the farm is the engine of our national life. Look at the disrespect you have for farmers. Oh, he's a farmer. Ain't nothing to him. He's a farmer. I beg your pardon. Doctor, you in the house? Lawyer, you in the house? Teacher, you in the house? Preacher, you in the house? Tell me something. If you don't eat well, how long will you practice law? If you don't eat well, you become the patient, doctor. So don't look down on a farmer, look up to a farmer, because today it will be us farming our own land, producing our own food that will save our lives. Everywhere I have traveled, where we live, black people are not producing food to feed our populations in Africa, in the Caribbean, in Central and South America. Why is that? Why are we buying food in the Caribbean from America, from Australia, from England, from Europe, from France? Why are you doing this when the land under your foot is rich? It hurts me to travel and see us so dependent on others for the basic necessities of life, when the richness of our land is there to produce all that we need and then some. America is for sale, but we are not owning it. We helped build this. Our sweat and blood was used to protect it. Shouldn't we be co-owners of it? See, you got to think like that now. That's right. I don't want to walk streets that we don't own. Everybody can look at their community and say, this is ours. You're the only people that has a community that's owned by things and people that live outside of our community. This shows that there's something wrong with us mentally. Now, since our slave masters' children put their faces on the dollar, I think Jackson is on a $20 bill, not Jesse. Since you call the $100 bill Benjamins, that ain't your Benjamin. That's their Benjamin. But if they like their face so much, yes, let's collect as many of their faces as we can. Mr. Charlie, look, see your face on the dollars. Mr. Charlie, what we want is all the land that's in the Delta. We want to start in Arkansas, same way they started, buying the land, working the hell out of us, picking the cotton to make America rich and strong. Let's go back over that road. Let's take their faces, give it back to them. We don't want more fiat money, we want land. Then we can buy the tools that will make us productive on the land, from which will spring all kinds of businesses that inspire entrepreneurs, not people that are begging somebody else for a job, but you're creating jobs. Then we can grow into a solid economic foundation for us, but without the land, we have no basis for real capital development. Plus, we are an international people. Our brothers and sisters are all over the world, desirous of doing business with us. But if we are not producing anything, we can't enter into trade and commerce with the nations of the earth. As the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote in Message to a Black Man, quote, as a people, we must become producers and not remain consumers and employees. We must be able to extract raw materials from the earth and manufacture them into something useful for ourselves. This would create jobs in production. We must remember that without land there is no production, and the surplus of what we produce we would sell. This would help develop a field of commerce and trade as other free and independent people whose population is less than that of ours, so-called Negroes, who are in America dependent. The future is in our hands. You don't have to beat up on other people. You just got to do right by yourself. Now look, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I was with him one day. He said, brother, I want you to think for the whole and speak for the whole. Yes, sir. He didn't want me to speak just for the little nation of Islam. He wanted me to speak for all black people, not only in America, but all over the earth. Think for the whole and speak for the whole.